8.5 Part 2. Today we are going to talk about division and adding and subtracting on both top and bottom before to simplify. So essentially it's a big division, and then we've got to simplify top and bottom before we divide. So there's two methods to doing this. First, on top, you could add up like terms. Okay, essentially get these to add up. So we'll do the top, 1/2 minus 2/5. And the least common multiple is 10, so this one would end up being 5/10 and 4/10. End up with 1/10 on top. On the bottom, okay, we would end up with 1/3 plus 3/4. Least common multiple is 12, so that would be 4/12. And then that would be 9/12. End up with 13/12. So then we divide that. Well, that's 1/10 divided by 13/12, or we could flip and multiply because they're fractions, and we'd end up with 1/10 times 12/13, or 12 over 130. And 12 over 130 simplifies to 6 over 65. The other method is to find the least common multiple between all the denominators. So 2, 5, 3, and 4. That would be then 2 times 5 times 3 times, those are all primes. 4 then is 2 times 2 to get it in as a prime. And so that would end up being 2 times 2 times 2, which is 6, times 15. Not 2 times 2 times 2. Essentially, it'd be 2, because that's the most. We're going to get 2 2's from this one. We'll end up with 2 2's from this one. And so the most 2's we can take are 2 2's. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 15 is 60. So my least common denominator is 60. So what we end up doing is 1/2 minus 2/5 over 1/3 plus 3/4. And we're going to multiply both top and bottom by 60. And when you do this, okay, well, 1/2 times 60 is 30. Minus 2/5 times 60 is 24. 1/3 times 60 is 20. And 3/4 times 60 is 45. Simplify the top, you end up with 6. Simplify the bottom, you end up with 65, and that is simplified. Okay, so now we're going to do this with our division of 2. Okay? And so we need to find the least common of x minus x over 3, x over 6 minus x over 3. Okay, the least common multiple on that one would be 18, so we're going to multiply each top and bottom by 3 on the first. We get 18. Multiply both top and bottom on this one by 6. Get 18. Okay, the least common multiple of 5 and 10 is 50, or is 10, so we'll multiply the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. This one we won't have to multiply. You minus that up, and 3x minus 6x will give you negative 3x. Over 18, and I messed up. That wasn't the least common multiple, but we'll be fine. And on the bottom, that doesn't simplify. You're going to get 2x minus 7 over 10. The top's actually going to simplify for us. 3x over 18 is actually negative x over 6. Then we flip and multiply, because this should be a big divider, and we end up with negative x over 6, 10 over 2x minus 7. And then we simplify. We can cross. So a 2 would come out of that, and you'd be left with 3. 2 would come out of that, and you'd be left with 5. So you end up with negative 5x over 3 times 2x minus 7. All right, so then we're going to have problems like this. Well, I said simplify top or bottom first. I can't simplify 5 over x plus 4, but I can simplify the bottom, okay, which is 1 over x plus 4 plus 2 over x. And when you simplify that, okay, the least common multiple will be x plus 4, or the least common denominator. So on that, we're going to end up with 5 over x plus 4. And then this one's going to need to be multiplied by x. And we end up with x over x times x plus 4. Plus, and this one's going to need to be multiplied by x plus 4 on top and bottom. And we're left with 2 times x plus 4 over x times x plus 4. We add those together, okay? End up with 5 over x plus 4 all over. On the bottom, you're going to end up with x plus 2 x plus 4 all over x to the x plus 4. Now we flip and multiply, and we would end up with 5 over x plus 4 times x plus 4 all over x plus 2 times x plus 4. Now we would cross reduce, and when we cross reduce, we end up with cross reduce, and the x plus 4's cancel on there, and we're left with 5x, and on the bottom we can add that up, okay? So 5x, and then this is actually 2x plus 8. And so then that would just be 3x plus 8. And that is your answer. All right, same thing here. We need to simplify the top and the bottom. So we're going to add up 2x over minus 4. 2x minus 4. And then we're going to add up 2 over x plus 3. Our least common multiple is just going to be x. So we'll end up with 2x minus 4x over x, because I multiplied top and bottom. Over here, I'm going to get 2x plus 3x minus over x. On the top, I'm going to get 2 minus 4x over x. On the bottom, I'm going to get 2 plus 3x over x. Now I flip and I multiply. 2 minus 4x over x times x over 2 plus 3x. the x's cancel, and I'm left with 2 minus 4x over 2 plus 3x. And the top does have a GCF of 2. And so when I take that out, I get 2, 1 minus 2x over 2 plus 3x, but that doesn't simplify, so there's our answer. You actually can go back to this since it didn't simplify, but it doesn't matter. Either of them are the correct answer. All right, on this one, the bottom needs simplified. So we end up with 3 over x plus 5. On the bottom, okay, 2 over x minus 3 plus 1 over x plus 5. And so our least common multiple is going to be x minus 3, x plus 5. On the bottom there. So I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by x plus 5 on the first one. Right here. So it'll be 2 times x minus 3, then x plus 5, x plus 5. Here I'm going to do x minus 3, so, and I'm multiplying that, so, and I'm going to multiply each one by x minus 3 on top and bottom. Okay? Then I'm left with 3 over x plus 5. Here I'm going to get 2 x plus 5 over x minus 3 x plus 5. And then this is actually going to be plus, and then it's just 1 times x minus 3. You can simplify that top on the bottom one. Right now we're left with 3 over x plus 5 on the top. On the bottom, that'll be 2x plus 5 plus 1x, so that'd be 3x. And then you're going to get 10 minus 3 is going to give me 7 all over, and then that's still going to be my x plus 5, x minus 3x plus 5. Now I flip and I multiply. I get 3 over x plus 5, x minus 3, x plus 5. On the bottom here, I've got 3x plus 7. That doesn't simplify. So the x plus 5's cancel, and I'm left with 3 times x minus 3 all over 3x plus 7. Okay, this is just like yesterday. So when I simplify, I've got to simplify both top and bottom, or I've got to factor top and bottom first to find my least common multiple. This one's going to be x minus 4, x plus 2, and minus, and then we're going to get x minus 5 over, and factors of 32 that sum to negative 12 is negative 8 and negative 4. So x minus 8, x minus 4. So then my least common denominator, or my LCD in this case, is going to be x minus 4, x plus 2, x minus 8. Take the most. So I need to multiply this one by x minus 8 on top and bottom. X plus 2, and then we're going to multiply top and bottom by x minus 8. And on the other one, we're going to multiply by x plus 2. And then we're left with, so then we FOIL x plus 3x minus 8, and we get this. And then we FOIL x minus 5x plus 2, and we get this. Now I need to distribute the negative. Okay, and when I distribute it, it'll make this plus, negative, plus, plus. Add up our like terms on top, and we end up with the x squareds cancel, negative 2x. The 24, negative 24 plus 6 is negative 18. All over x minus 8, x minus 4, x plus 2. And if we factored out on the top there, we wouldn't end up being able to cancel anything, so that is our final answer. So now we have this one, x plus 3 minus x minus 1 plus 3. We need to find our least common, so I'm going to factor this. When I factor this one, guys, I'm going to end up with x minus 5, x plus 5, because it's a difference of squares. And so my least common denominator is going to be x minus 5, x plus 5, x plus 3. So on the first one, when I go to do this, I'm going to go x plus 3 times, and what I'm going to need other than that is an x plus 3 on the bottom. I'm going to get x minus 5, x plus 5 there. I'll end up with my complete denominator there, minus x minus 1, and then I'm going to need to multiply this one by x plus 5, x plus 3. Over x plus 5, x plus 3. All over, and this one has an x minus 5. I'm going to parenthesis that just so we don't lose it. And then the last one here, plus 3, and this one only has an x plus 3. So we can actually, well, we'll multiply both top and bottom by x minus 5, x plus 5, x minus 5, x plus 5. And then we need to simplify all the tops. So I've factored and distributed everything on the top of each one. Now I go through and I'm going to bring the negative through on this one, so that would make it a plus, negative, plus, negative, plus. Now I need to add up all my like terms. Okay, so x squared minus x squared will give me no x. Oh, that's x cubed actually. Sorry, this is supposed to be an x cubed. And so that's the only x cubed I've got, so negative x cubed. And then x squared plus 7x squared will give me 8x squared, plus 3x squared is going to give me 11x squared. Okay. And then 7x minus 7x is negative x. So negative x. 9 plus 15 is 24. Minus 75 is going to give me 51. Minus 51. And on the bottom, I'm still going to have my x minus 5, x plus 5, x plus 3. And that is factored. That is simplified. You could see at the top factored by grouping, but it doesn't. Last one here. Okay, so again, we simplify the top, we simplify the bottom. So simplifying the top here, we need to find the greatest common factor. Not the greatest common factor, the least common denominator. So 2x minus 5, that one doesn't simplify. That doesn't factor out. On 8x, we would go 8x minus 20, a 4 comes out of that, and you're left with 2x minus 5. So then my least common denominator, or my LCD, is then 2x minus 5. So I'm going to multiply both top and bottom on this one by 4. So 2x minus 5. And multiply both top and bottom by 4. Minus 7. And that one doesn't need anything.
You're right about that. Jennifer Clement.
All over, and the bottom doesn't need simplified. We're left then with 2x minus 5, minus 7, 8x minus 20, all over x 2x minus 5. And so the top on this one would simplify to 4 minus 7, which is negative 3 over, and this is actually 8x minus 20, and so we're going to end up with 8x minus 20 all over x over 2x minus 5. And I shouldn't have really distributed on that. I should have left it factored. So actually I've got negative 8x minus 20 times, flip and multiply, 2x minus 5 over x. And that the reason why I said I shouldn't have simplified here, this is actually, okay, 2x minus 5. And so the 2x minus 5's cancel. And I'm left then with negative 3 over 4x. And that doesn't simplify. That is